Happy Ladies Night.
Hi. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim.
Welcome.
Hello.
Smiling Heart.
Little Lucy.
Hi, everybody.
Christina, I think Kristen or Christina.
I'm turning something off real quick. I'll be right back.
came in earlier and
Puppies in the place of Kim.
Sorry.
Oh, look at Lucy's.
Sorry. There's little Lucy Goose.
What does she have in her mouth?
Her cigar. No,
Awesome.
it's her Chewy.
Bringing out the cigar. That's so sweet.
Oh, Anne says hi from Ireland. Hello, Anne from Ireland.
Correct. So let's see.
Where to begin?
How's everybody doing? I know it's Monday, so it's like you can't really say, how's your week going? Because it's like Monday.
It is Monday. How was your weekend?
There you go. How was the weekend, everyone? Just kind of waiting for everybody to pop in as we get started. Hi, Ron.
I took this week off my day job, so I'm pretty happy.
Nice.
Yes.
Puttering around the house today, trying to get some stuff done.
That's why you look so refreshed and happy,
so like
all done up and
we had a cat nap.
fancy.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
Nice.
That has to feel good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
So you guys, today we've chosen 3 amazing ladies, and I hope that I feel like there's some messages coming through for sure.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see with these gals. And Kim, your choice is very interesting.
Yeah.
Did you switch us on? Did you switch it on us again?
No, but what was weird was I couldn't, when I saw, I had already picked mine, but when I saw your pick, Andrea, I was like, who is that? It just didn't come to me right away. And then I'm like, oh, how weird. We both picked, poets. So yeah, it was just really strange. Yeah. And then your pick is exactly, Debbie fits right in. So it's
we were just saying maybe the power of the word is coming through.
Yes, exactly.
Power of the word coming through today. So that's always, I don't know if it's interesting to you all, but it's interesting to us when we do our picks and all of a sudden it kind of comes together.
Yeah.
So pretty fun.
Yeah.
So Andrea, I don't have to go. I don't have to be the first one today. Andrea's first today with the alphabetical order situation.
Alphabetical order. So I picked Amanda Gorman.
Yes.
And last Monday when we were doing the show, she came up in conversation. I forget. Because I think we were reading on some, we were talking about the young women today and the Greta and then Amanda. So I thought, let's pick Amanda. So Amanda Gorman is 23 years old. She was born in Los Angeles. She is a poet and an activist. She burst onto the scene worldwide earlier this year at Joe Biden's inauguration, where if you were watching it and you felt the electricity, there she is. Absolutely stunning.
Absolutely.
In her yellow outfit and her beautiful hair and her hairpiece and the confidence and the elegance and the grace. And I got goosebumps right now. I was like, who's this young woman? Who is this amazing talent? So when something like that happens, it just captures everyone's attention. That's like electricity in a bottle, and let's figure out what she's all about. So she went to Harvard. She's published books. She said she's going to run for president in 2036. I wish she could run sooner than that, but she's a twin, and her twin sister is an activist and a filmmaker. So, you can tell that there's a lot going on in that family. Raised by a single mother, her mother is a teacher, I believe 6th grade teacher, and they have another sibling as well. So I believe there's 3 children. So she grew up with an auditory processing disorder and hypersensitivity to sound. She also had a speech impediment, which is just amazing, right? Because of where she is now. So she said she looked at that stuff as a gift, because through this, she had to write and speak and practice, right? Because of these speech impediment and disorder that she had. If she hadn't done that, maybe she wouldn't be where she is now. So she sees it as a gift, which is always wonderful when you can turn around it and see something as a gift instead of a disability or something like that. So yeah, she started her own nonprofit. She's written books. I mean, she's endless, I feel. And I love this one description. A man said she's a powerhouse. Her bio goes out of date every 2 weeks. So she's just go, 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 go. There's no stopping her. And I love it. I love her energy. I can feel it. She is exciting. Her confidence and her grace is also really coming through. And I remember watching her while she was speaking. Like, can you imagine if you were 23 speaking in front of the entire world at an inauguration? I would be like,
oh yeah, there would be nothing coming out of my mouth. Yeah.
She was so elegant and poised, practiced, and I think it's her.
Mm-hmm.
It's her. So
yeah.
Let's see what we can find out from this lovely 23-year-old young woman.
Okay.
Maybe what moves her, what's coming up for her, whatever you feel. Amanda Gorman. It inspires me when I see someone like that. When I see, when you see someone you don't know, just, explode or whatever you want to call it on stage, just be like, whoa, who's this? So I found her very inspiring. I found her inspiring for the youth and for women, and just a fantastic person. Amanda Gorman.
And it's funny because I don't feel, it looked so natural and easy for her again, but I know that you just read her bio talking about some of the struggles she has, but I really, she pushes herself. This is not natural for her. Because I sensed a tad bit of anxiety behind it, and it's like, I was being shown that she works on this. Yes, she does have some natural ability with this, but she pushes herself to pushes the edges of things, like
pushes through the fear.
Yes. So like you think that you can't do something or whatever because you're like, no, I don't think I can do that. It's too much, or I'm not as good as that. She pushes through those things. That's the first thing coming in with her.
Feels like she's going to be like the head of like Harvard or something, like she's going to have quite an amazing career. With being president is just one of the things on her list.
I also am seeing a lot of spirit support around her. Almost like ancestor feel to it, where she literally has around her a ring of spirit ancestors.
Possibly going into journalism to shine light on things. So taking, like, again, words, right? Words are very powerful. She's going to help bring things to light. So not just through poetry, but possibly as a journalist, covering stories, bringing things to light. and not frivolous things. I don't think she's the frivolous type.
So this is strange. I'm getting, whatever reason, I'm getting an older male preacher. I don't know if this is like her in a past life, or if this is one of like the relatives that's around her, but there is something very strong about an older African-American gentleman preacher, and I see him in this very old, to me, it looks like the 20s, 1930s in a church, old church, small congregation, but like a powerful speaker and presence.
That would make perfect sense if she was a preacher at some point.
Yeah, I kind of think it might be a past life, and maybe it's a life that kind of is connected to this one. Spreading the word, spreading a message through words, through that powerful delivery, like you were talking about. But this is I would say like if I were to guess, like 1920s. Something like that.
1920s.
And to me, it feels like the deep South. It feels like it's very Southern. But I feel like he was like the guy. Like he was like had a reputation, was amazing, but had this kind of small congregation, but very, very powerful, and spiritually connected from a very early age. So that's what I'm getting for her.
Yeah, there's a force behind her. So a past life as that person would make sense. That's coming forward as well.
Right.
So kind of backing up what I was being shown with the cards, I have the moon and then the 9 of wands. They're talking about not everything is super clear, but she presses forward. She stands her ground. That's kind of where she gets she has that fire within her to like, okay, I'm standing my ground. I'm going forward. I have it. Nothing's going to stop me, basically.
Right.
And yeah, she's all about empowering and bringing together, uniting and empowering. That's kind of a message that she's bringing forward.
She's accomplished so much at 23.
She has.
That is amazing.
And I feel like she hasn't done it alone. You have both angelic forces, or ancestors' forces, loved ones on the other side coming through, as well as some of maybe her current family coming through to help with that 3 of Pentacles there, to help her with bringing things with her. It's like they recognize that she is this powerhouse and that she's here to change the world, and they've kind of stepped on board with that. Like they see it and they know it. Some of the challenge she has, I feel like there have been people who have hurt her along the way, kind of stabbed her in the back type of thing, said one thing, maybe did another. But she's using that pain she's turning it into a positive energy for her to move forward. She does not allow painful things to take her down. She harnesses those things that were out to get her or whatever, and turns it around, and uses that as power to move forward instead of allowing it to take her down. I think that's pretty clear coming through with this stuff. Yeah.
I love this card that came out for her. So truth be told, what I'm sensing, I think she's an old soul. She's very wise. You see how she's standing on the mask? She doesn't wear a mask. Her words are unfiltered. Not that her words are unfiltered, but it's an unfiltered view into the soul. She's reflecting us back. She's reflecting life back at us through her work, through her words, through her poetry, right? Unfiltered, unmasked. Oh, who's growling? She's very smart. She's very deep. I think she's very old as well. Her old soul.
Yeah, old soul.
And what she's doing is showing us, like reflecting life back at us, like unfiltered. Like this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. Let's fix it. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's address it. Let's fix it. Very direct.
Yep.
I do see her holding office. I don't know if it's the presidency, but I do see her holding an office. To me, this feels much later, though. It feels like, I didn't feel like she's kind of like maybe in her 50s. It feels old, like she's a lot older. But I do feel like it's part of her destiny, part of her plan. So she must be picking up on that somehow, because obviously she's already planning to, run for president. It could be president, but to me it comes across as like maybe like in the House or the Senate, something like that. It feels more something like that. But it does feel like she is going to hold office. But yeah, but it feels much later. It doesn't feel like it's soon.
Lisa Smith. She's like, yeah, of course, I'll be 200 years old by then.
Yay!
Yeah, I think she does. It's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. She's going to be very powerful. I think she will be president.
Breakthrough, yeah. Breaking through. Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I feel like she's going to be like the head of Harvard or a big university or something. She's also going to be a big figure in that as well. Words.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of her, to me, a lot of her guides feel like that. It feels like professors and a lot of education, a lot of like knowledge. That's what to me, that's what at least some of her guides feel like. They have a very, that kind of feel, a lot of education, a lot of knowledge, wisdom, a lot of wisdom.
I asked if she might plan on getting married, because I thought, I wonder if that will be in her, because, when you are, well, an activist like she is, and also someone who is progressive and like all that, would she have time for it? Does she want it like that? I do believe she does want it. I do believe it's going to happen, but it's going to have to be someone special and someone who can keep up with, and I got the 10 of Pentacles for her. So if she's watching, and I know she is, it looks like you're going to meet someone who's the King of Pentacles. You also have this life, where you have the 3 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles and then the 2 of Cups. So someone who's going to have to be completely on board and connected with who she is, and with this visionary person who has this incredible insight and passion for change and movement and like all that. So this soul connection is going to has to play a part of that, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be a good thing.
So I asked about her words, the power of words, her words. I got wisdom. I think
Ooh.
She's tapped into a lot of things. She's tapped in spiritually. She's tapped into Mother Earth, the higher self. She just, what's coming out of her is much bigger, right? Like she's because of her youth, you know, she's drawing from other things, obviously, right? So she's really tapped in, like very connected, as you said, surrounded by wise people as well. And the power of words, power of wisdom, sharing it. That's what it is, sharing it with us.
Well, when you watched her do her thing at the inauguration, you saw someone in flow. That's what, when you're meeting what your spirit mission is here on earth, and you're meeting that with your physical self, and your spirit is, you know, matching up. That's what it looks like, that flow. And everybody's drawn to it because that's what we all want, right? We will all want that to be so perfectly matched with our spirit mission, you know, and be able to find that and be in flow like that. And that's what we are witnessing. We witnessed that as a nation, and also at a very awful time. You know, think of the inauguration, how scary it was, how people were worried about Biden, and we had just gone through the 6th, and everything was weird. And here she stands up with such, like you said, Andrea, with such grace and confidence, and with a message.
And it felt hopeful too, as you say, just going through all that stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's this light shining.
Yeah.
Her, right? And it's like, oh, okay, things are going to get better. There's hope. There's people like her, right?
Exactly. Hope for the future. Exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful. Incredible.
I look forward to seeing what else she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think as a nation, we need to continue to send her send prayers for her, and light and love on her path.
Yeah.
She's definitely a trailblazer. Let's do this, Amanda.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah. What's next for her? Just following her passion, continuing on, just full of drive. And that's your root chakra color. So that's who she is. She's a very passionate person.
Oh, wow.
Not going to stop.
Perfect.
Not going to stop. Love it. Yay. I feel really good. I like her energy.
Very much so.
Me too. All right.
Well, thank you, Amanda. It's nice hanging out with you.
Really cool. Let's make sure all right. So now we are moving on to our next fabulous female, Joan Baez.
Yes.
And so let me go ahead and switch that up. This. Return.
So Debbie picked Joan Baez.
Joan Baez.
Who's 80 years old, right? She's 80 years old.
I can't believe it. Oops. And I'm just writing down the time. So
okay.
25. There we go. All right. So we can timestamp these, right? All right. Joan Baez. Man, she is an amazing woman. She's an activist, as you know. She's a singer-songwriter, as we all know. She writes about her activity, in her songs, moving at that level, that energy level, that vibrational level with her songs. So really tapped into that. And okay, let's see, what else did we get, Andrea?
So she, as you said, she writes about what's going on. So very similar to Amanda it's like poetry, and it's also Kim's pick. You'll hear when we read on Kim's pick. It seems like we've all picked women and their words, their poetry. So she writes because folk music is kind of more poetic than maybe other music, or not, but feels like it is. So she's written about everything, every kind of social injustice, etc., women's rights, the environment, all of it. She, her father was in UNESCO, I believe, so she moved around a lot growing up. So she's had a flavor of the whole world. She's seen a lot of things in her life, and she was also discriminated against. I believe she's part Mexican. She faced racism through her life. So I think she's brought some of that forward into her compassion and her, her music, things like that. She's also dated some interesting men. She went out with Bob Dylan.
Yep.
And she also dated Steve Jobs, which I thought was really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that so interesting? Yeah.
Very.
Very unique. She's recorded songs with the Allman Brothers Band, the Beatles even, Jackson Browne, Woody Guthrie, Violetta Hara, the Rolling Stones, and more. So, and Bob Marley. And of course, Bob Dylan.
Her voice is so distinctive as well.
Yeah.
You know her as soon as you.
She was born gifted. So she doesn't take credit for her musical voice. She said she was born with it. So she's, she knows she was given this wonderful gift, and that she's using it for all of us to hear.
Yeah. And not only the voice, but the message.
And the message, yes.
The messages with it. Her grandfather, Alberto Baez, was a reverend, and left the Catholic Church to become a Methodist minister, and moved to the U.S.
Oh, wow.
So, from Mexico, Pueblo, Mexico, and then grew up so that I guess he went to New York. So that's where she's from.
Chris in the comments said, the first note that comes out of her mouth, it's her singing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very identifiable, unique.
Oh, her mom was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. And her nickname was Big Joan. So Joan Sr. was called Big Joan. From Edinburgh, Scotland. Very, very powerful. Wow.
And did you already say she's 80 years old?
Yep.
She's 80. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
She doesn't have to do these things, but when there's like civil unrest or something comes up, she will write a song about it. So she's lending her name, her power, her gift to these causes. So I want, what drives her to do this? When she doesn't have to, right? There's lots of artists that don't. So what makes her do this?
Yes.
Wow, connected. She's really spiritually connected to the earth, Mother Earth, everything. Her spirit guides. This is, it's moving through her. It's bigger than her. She knows this, so she does it. Yeah. Through her voice. Woo! Goosebumps.
Yes, and she
very spiritual and peaceful woman.
I feel like what I'm being shown here is that she was given this platform even early on, like as a child. Like she was never told, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't do that. It was almost like, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do whatever, like that. So that was a support. I feel what I'm hearing with that is that was a support for her in that she didn't have to fight that battle. There's enough to fight out here. She didn't have to fight the in-home battle that this is what she wanted to do or go this direction or speak her mind, so to speak. I'm being shown that she's speaking her mind.
She's coming out of pure love. She's tapped in. Like, she gets this. She gets what everything is supposed to be. People should be kind and loving and accepting, and we should be taking care of each other. Like, just feels like it's moving through her, coming out of her in beautiful song.
I'm getting something similar to that, Andrea, which is that I keep hearing generosity of spirit. She shares everything. She shares herself. She shares her gifts, but she's also very, she likes to combine her gifts with other people in a very generous way. There's no, divaness, competitiveness. There's no, like you said, she's very tapped into the fact that we're all here together. We're all in this together, and we all need to give what we've got to this experience. You're right. She's absolutely tapped in.
Yeah, it's bigger. She knows it's bigger than her. As we know, like it's bigger than us. Anyone who's really enlightened knows that it's more than you. We've got to take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is a weird, I shouldn't say weird, but there's a very strong nature connection with her. I feel like there's something with Native American. I feel like there is also something with trees. I keep seeing trees with her. So I don't know what this is, but it just feels like there's a really, really deep spiritual connection to nature with her. Something that is, it goes back and back and back and back. But there's something with trees. I keep getting trees with her. So not sure what that is.
Lucienne says she's a Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah. She feels it's like a really nice, calm energy. Like if you were sitting with her, you would feel that vibe where it's just like peace.
Yeah, and you absolutely, if you stepped into a pub and she was sitting there at the bar, it wouldn't be any hoopla. I mean, she'd just fit right in with everybody there. So,
Well, I do have to caveat this by saying I did meet her once.
Oh.
So I wasn't going to say anything, but I mean, when I was in my 30s, I worked at Macy's, and she came to my makeup counter.
Nice.
It was in Palo Alto. She lives like in Woodside, I think, up in that area. And she came to my she was like that. It was that's what made me think of it, is because you're right. She's extremely calm, very nice, very unassuming.
Yeah.
Not, no, like I said, no pretense or anything. She just was her. But yeah.
That's awesome.
I was going to mention, because it was just a small little, little interaction, but yeah.
That is so cool. How fun. So I do feel like she is very in touch with the pulse of the world and messages. She has more messages to come out. You have the Ace of Cups there, the King of Cups, and then the World. I feel like there's more to come. She's not done. We have not seen the last of her. And so that's promising. I would love to hear some new stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's, for a woman to stick her neck out, or whatever you want to call it, and sing songs about this, injustices and stuff. if she's a trailblazer, right? Like when in the 60s, I know it was a time where you could start doing that kind of thing, but she really stepped forward. She really leaned in, which is fantastic. It's a very great role model. Because I'm sure she met with, lots of critics or, people who didn't want her to be doing that. So very, very strong in her gentleness, like she just pushed through. Because she knows it's bigger than her. She has to do it. That's a calling. Like same with Amanda. There is a calling. And that's it.
And they are both trailblazers of their time. I also get the sense
that she's not done. You're right. I got the same thing. And I feel like she's gonna. I feel like she's gonna do something with somebody who's really young.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Were you going to say that too? Okay.
I was just going to say, and then you started talking. I'm like, oh, I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, sorry.
But exactly what you were just going to say.
I'm reading your mind, Debbie, and I'm taking Yeah. There's something coming up, I feel like.
Empowering someone else.
Right. You're right.
Bringing someone else forward. I love this.
Wow. Yeah, so what's next for Joan Baez? The activist, change, and valor. So fighting. There's going to be another. Yeah. There's more. She's not done. There's another. Yeah. Maybe a duet. Are you thinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's some kind of
thinking a duet.
Yeah.
Ooh, goosebumps.
Ooh, I love it.
And that's the other thing. And
you heard it here first.
Right? She's 80. She doesn't have to do anything, but she still wants
exactly
to lend her hand, lend her voice, lend her name to move the dial.
Yep.
So what did you do today to move the dial, everyone? Right? I think about that all the time. What did I do today?
Did you shop online today?
No, I didn't shop online. But I did. Doing this show helps move the dial, right? So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. There you go. So I have the judgment card here in the middle, and bringing in, there's some transformation with this. And look at this card. It's the Page of Pentacles, but look at her. I feel like, because I was hearing kind of passing this baton, passing the torch. Look at her. It's like she's passing on the torch. She's passing on the baton there to have this continue forward, and keeping on top of this message and keep people on their toes, right? So pushing all of us. Her music has always pushed all of us and made us think and made us aware and like that. She wants that to continue. So it's like almost like she's passing the baton there on for someone else to come in as well. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Very cool.
Celeste says moving the dial doesn't have to be public. Absolutely. It's what you do.
Amen.
Yeah.
She did a duet before COVID with Lana Del Rey, Melissa said.
Oh, did she?
Oh, so maybe that's what it was, because I just felt like she was, to me, yeah, I felt like she was combining her talents with somebody
else. I bet she works with Billie. If someone says Billie Eilish, that would be an interesting one for sure.
Oh.
Well, we'll see, because I feel like something new is coming in. So.
Yeah. Me too. And it does, but it does feel that young. It does feel like, like 20, not really young. Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She won't be quitting. No, I agree, Melissa. So anyways, wow. Power.
Yeah.
Power there.
Again, very nice energy. And I'm glad she's done what she's done.
Very grateful.
Very grateful.
Continue to send her positive, beautiful energy, and so grateful for her music and all that she's done. She's literally been a part of positive change on our globe.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
We have to be proud of that.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Are you tapping into more, Kim? You're looking.
Thank you,
down?
Joan Baez. No, I was just thinking,
Okay.
she's just had an incredible life,
Yeah.
and she's 80. She's still going. So.
Oh, yeah, powerhouse there. Okay, so our next person that we're looking at is.
Well, I don't mean to be the downer.
We're ending it on a downer. Be prepared, everybody.
Well, we learn from each woman, right? No matter what.
Right. Right. But I picked Sylvia Plath, who's also a poet, though, which is really, really strange to me. And I once again, I had a complete other like last week, I thought I was going to do a complete other person. And then just out of the blue, I just thought, I think that would be good. And then with your pick and everything, it just was strange. So, and again, about the importance of words and speaking your truths and all those things. So I'll just give you a little bit of a teensy bit of background just for people that may not know, what she's about. But so she was born 2 days before my birthday, October 27th, 1932. Well, not in 32, but.
You look great for being born in 32. Like really good.
Thank you. I try. And she passed away February 11th in 1963. She was a young woman when she passed away, a young woman. She's credited for advancing the genre of confessional poetry, which I thought was interesting. She wrote, she had 3 works that she did. One was done when she was still alive. The other 2, she had passed away, but she did Colossus and Other Poems, which is a book of poetry. She did Ariel, which is probably her most famous book of poetry. You read it a lot in college and high school. And then she also wrote the book, The Bell Jar, which is one of my favorite books. It's always on like my top, 10 list of books. Brilliant writer. She went to Smith's College and Newhorn College in Cambridge, England. And she was married to fellow poet Ted Hughes. They had a kind of a tumultuous marriage, and he was a philanderer, a famous philanderer. They did have 2 children, and they were separated when she committed suicide. So she did commit suicide in 1963. Her collected poems were published in 1981, and she received the Pulitzer Prize posthumously.
Wow.
And he was devastated by her death. Yeah, there she is, young lady. He was devastated by her death, and he was actually credited to putting her works out, and keeping them kind of out as after her death. So he did. I guess he kind of made up for some stuff, but he was not,
I think he was a bit abusive towards her as well.
Yeah, he was kind of abusive and kind of just, anyway. But yeah, for her short life, very accomplished. And I've always been so interested in her story because she was in a time, in the 50s where you were meant to get married and have kids. That was expected of you as a woman. And then she also wanted to write. She had this burning inside of her to write. And so, but she did want it all. But at that time, it was so hard to have it all. Was just so impossible for women during that time. But such a bright lady and such a, she tried. She had depression her whole adult life and was treated many times in and out of. The Bell Jar is about one of her experiences in the going to a mental hospital and being treated with all kinds of weird, 1950s,
Yeah.
weird, or 40s, I guess,
Yeah.
weird things that they would do to, that they thought were helping and they really weren't. But yeah, so that was my pick. So.
And she was only 30 when she passed away.
Yeah.
30 years old. So still quite young. And it says she tried several times. So she was obviously, she's very artist, right? Like
the dark stuff. It's like she didn't get a chance to really work through some of the dad issues that she dealt with.
Yes.
And if you read any of her poetry, you can read some of that about the dad issues that were pretty dark.
Yeah. Her father died when she was about 5, I think. Very, very, very young. And she always had, just missed that presence. And she had a weird relationship with her mom. So I think that, it was, she just, it affected her.
And it's interesting. She had 2 children. Her daughter became a writer and her son killed himself. So they both followed her path.
Yeah.
Really?
One way or the other, right?
One way or the other, yeah.
How awful.
Yeah. So I guess they had mental illness as well, or struggle with depression, etc. But she was very talented. It feels like she just couldn't be her. Like the constraints of the time.
Yeah.
Then going with the flow and getting married, or going with what she's supposed to do, and then the guy is not that great to her.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been extremely frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah, she definitely absolutely had her own way of viewing the world, and like in her own world, she's showing me.
Yeah, lots of depression, being a victim, insecurity.
It's like she couldn't, it's like she couldn't, if you can't see beyond the clouds, how are you going to have a vision for the future? You can't. There's nothing beyond these clouds, constant clouds. And it was impossible to see beyond those clouds. It's like, you think her soul was so tormented, like that tormenting pain, that other people that suffer from this type of depression would understand. But if you've never been in this, there's no other choice but to leave. She tried, but there was no other choice for her.
And I'm getting that the treatments then, because I feel like if this had happened today, I would take antidepressants. It would have been a completely different life. I feel like the treatments, she's like, not only were they not correct, but they were like the opposite of what should have been done. The isolation and the making you feel like it was your fault and you were a freak and just get it together and stop. All of that added to the feeling of feeling useless and blaming yourself and that kind of thing. It was the opposite. They were doing the opposite, really, of what they should have been doing. They were on the wrong end of the stick, she's saying.
Exactly. And Melissa has it right, because she was telling me if it was today, I'd still be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's showing it would be very different today for her.
Through her words, I think she was trying to expose what mental illness really was, as best she could, to help. I think she was trying. It wasn't just to help herself. She wanted to. She knew it. what you guys just said. She knew the treatments weren't right, but how frustrating, like a silent scream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That they don't understand and they're not helping. So if she wrote about it a bit, maybe she might help someone with her words, because no one was helping her. I just feel her total frustration.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like someone help me, but they don't do the right thing.
I think we all got that pretty clearly. She let us know,
Mhm.
all three of us, about the frustration of not understanding.
And that she didn't choose it. It wasn't like
I didn't choose this, she says. Yeah,
she didn't choose to feel this way and go through this stuff.
Her biggest thing, do you think I would want to leave my children? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you understand the torment I was in. Who would leave their children?
Right.
Yeah.
It's that frustration, that anger behind it as well. I feel like she wants to write a poem about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do some automatic writing and have her write it through.
So there's words, the power of words, the power of not being able to get your words across,
Mm-hmm.
And the frustration. It almost feels at some point she just gave up. Like, I'm not going to explain this anymore to them. This is how they don't understand how I feel. They're not giving me the right thing. So these doctors or whoever don't know what they're doing. Nowadays it's way better, obviously.
Yeah.
She's also talking about what a man's world it was as well. Not only in just the world itself, but also in what she was trying to break into writing. That it was still kind of like, like patting on the head, like you're just, you little woman with your feelings and it was so, like you said, very frustrating and demeaning. When such a bright, had so much to say, so much to offer, and yet being patted on the head like, you don't, you're just, go and have, go be a mom, basically, go be a wife and mom. That'll make you be fulfilled. And there was just so much more there, as there is in every woman, but she was such a poster child for that during that time period. She's saying she was like the canary in the coal mine, that kind of thing. It's like I was that.
Inheriting a coal mine. Yeah,
she kind of like encompassed that kind of woman during that time. That's what she's saying.
And same medically, because they would have thought, it's just a woman being hysterical.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Or, a woman having emotions. Honestly, like, really?
Exactly. Because that's what I feel is like dismissed, like not validated, that kind of feeling of like.
Very frustrated.
Yeah, very frustrating. Very frustrated. Yeah.
A lot of people are commenting, about, hormones and like all that. She is saying that she felt the best when she was pregnant.
Interesting.
That was when she felt the best. Of course, for me, it was when I felt the worst.
Me too.
But for her, emotionally, like all the chemical stuff, that's when she felt the best.
Interesting.
I feel like she's still, because the frustration's coming through so strong, she's still a bit frustrated.
Yeah, she still is. Yeah.
She hasn't worked it out yet. She's still frustrated, feeling a bit shortchanged or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't worked through it all yet. So it's another thing, folks, remember to let go. Do you want to be carrying things on for decades?
Yeah. Do you want to take this with you? But again, she was young. She was only 30. She didn't, generally we really narrow it down and work on this stuff in our 30s.
Mhm.
So that's our decade to really knock things out. And she died when she was 30.
It's
And plus-
interesting too. I don't feel like she's with her husband. I don't feel like they're together for some reason. I feel like I don't get for, they were supposed to be so like soulmates and all this, this picture has been painted of them. I don't feel like they're together there.
No.
Yeah. Just FYI, if anyone's wondering. I feel like she's, but I agree with you, Andrea. I feel like she's still working. There's an anger there too. There's an anger.
Anger, frustration, and
right.
And fair enough.
Rightly so. Exactly. Yeah.
But I want her, maybe we can help her to let go, that she helped pave the way for the study of mental illness.
Yeah,
for sure. And if you read her poems, that would help to understand this better as well.
I think it feels like she had a lot more to write, but she couldn't get over the depression.
There's also apparently things that she wrote that were never shown. So I was just asking her about that. So Constance said there's poems that she wrote that were never.
She's saying that she helps her daughter to write. They do things together. So she's working with, she works through her sometimes. That's what she's, and helps her. Yeah.
So much frustration. My goodness.
I was asking about her son too. She said, he don't connect that with me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That he had his own. That was his path. That was his own path. His own stuff. Don't. Understanding that there's, it can run in families.
Yep.
She's saying, don't connect that with me. It was his own path, his own journey.
His own stuff. Interesting.
But she is sad. I mean, obviously, she brings in that feeling like, I wish I was there for him in that way. But she said that, don't link it to me.
I hope she lets go and comes back and finishes what she didn't get to finish, and in a mentally stable and happy body, emotionally stable, whatever it is that she didn't get last time. I hope she can come back and enjoy the next ride.
She's like, she's still grasping onto stuff. I mean, I don't know about you guys. She's still working right here.
You can feel it. It's the anger and the frustration. Yeah. She's not done. She hasn't moved past it. A little bit, but not the whole way. So
because usually people, they come in and they'll give you that to let you know, this is what I was going through, but she's actually going through it still. So this is kind of a new feeling for me. So.
Yeah, it's still very raw.
Yeah.
Even after all these years, it's very raw. So that's why I'm saying I hope she can work through it.
Yeah. Yes.
Move on and come back.
We can actually help her with that, you guys. We can actually empower her with our prayers for her.
Yes.
And guidance, and know that we understand and we see her. We see Sylvia. We see this. We see the struggle. And yes, it's much different now. And yes, you would still be alive today if you had been that age now. we understand that. So if we can all send that prayers and light and love to her, and that will help her for sure.
And that we hear her. We hear her.
That's the whole thing. That's what she brought in.
It's understood. Everyone understands.
We totally get it.
Yeah.
And we see you.
Yeah.
We understand.
And there's people here that can help now, so people don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
So, send her lots of good energy.
Yeah.
Healing energy.
It's also, a reminder too that when people commit suicide, there's not really an escape. They're not punished, but they don't really escape anything. They still have to work through whatever they had to work through. It doesn't just vanish because they're on the other side. There really is still something to work through. Sure. It's a reminder of that. I think that you still have to work through your stuff. You can't really escape your own emotional stuff. So work it out here. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just feels like a lovely, talented young woman who got a bit shortchanged for sure. And, what would she have been if those circumstances didn't happen? But on the flip side, would she have written those books if she didn't go through it? Right.
So that's that's a positive thing, but at what cost to her?
It cost her.
It benefited, and to know what a gift her work is for us. And literally the advancement in the mental health field because of how she taught, how she wrote and what she was so honest about.
Right. I think that's what it is, Debbie. That's that, when you read the bell jar as well, there's just something about the way she's brutally honest about what is going on and what is happening inside of her. And you didn't hear women talk like that at that, during that time. I think that it was just unfortunate the time she was in with the problems she had, Had it been now, she wouldn't, she would have just been able to be diagnosed and probably gotten a happy life,
So, but Victoria has a great addition here. So if anybody is watching this or anybody later watches this, here's the Suicide National Prevention Hotline that you can reach through here. And then, and I'll post the phone number in a second, give a moment for people to see this. And then here is the number. And and please reach out. We also have the Facebook, I have it up. We have the Facebook group as well called Wayshowers, and it's a place to reach out and connect in between, when we're on here, and reach out if you ever need someone to talk to and whatnot. There is this huge community of love and light and support. So please don't feel alone, and please reach out. And Victoria, thank you so much for posting that. I'm with Victoria, actually. She's right here. That's where I've traveled to. Her house. Saying hi.
Hi. I think, all three of these ladies were kind of or kind of like activists through their writing in different ways.
Right.
Trying to tell, some more, uplifting than others, but still trying to express themselves and express what they had to offer through their written word.
Exactly. exactly.
And we'll
You know,
continue to do that.
she is here, you guys, and this is the first time she's actually breaking down in a way of she's crying, and it's like I'm feeling heard. Like I'm literally having her emotion right now. This has really moved her, you guys.
Okay.
She literally is moved by this and grateful. Victoria's feeling it too. She's so she's a psychic too. So, but yeah, so we're both feeling her, and it just now happened in this moment, and we both felt it at the same time. But she's right here. She's so thankful for this.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
And for this word.
I know, me too. I just got chills too. So we're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's releasing right now.
That's what I was hoping.
Yay. This is safe. This is totally safe for her to do it right here, and we've all sent that to her, and see how that works. Oh my gosh. Yes, see, love to you, Sylvia.
Awesome.
Yay. You guys, thanks for doing this. This community is so awesome.
Yeah.
So we learned of the power of words today, and these wonderful women who are still, some did and some still are, using their words to move forward. And they've all gone through, certainly some setbacks, etc. But each one gifted and pushed forward, leaned into their destiny.
Exactly. And and use your gifts. I think that's another thing, right? They all have used their gifts to such extremes, to really touch people, and it's and to be activists and to use your gifts, whatever they are. Yeah,
exactly. I'm kind of caught up in this moment.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys said, I'm just kind of holding space for her because she's feeling all the love still. So
I feel like that wave of all the feelings that she had, it's flushed away. It's flowing away.
Definitely it's subsiding. It's still
subsiding. Opening up to love. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, here's I'm going to go ahead and post this just in case someone watches later. More comfortable with texting, you can text hello to 741-741 and get a reply immediately for a suicide crisis hotline for texting. Thank you, Diva.
Yes, a good idea for Well, awesome. Good, you guys.
Blessings to all of you. And again, I love you two ladies so much. I'm so blessed that we get to do this together.
You too, Debbie.
And I'm also so blessed with our community. How awesome are they?
Yeah.
Women empowering women and men who come and hang out with us as well. So great. So you guys, however you want to, just go and do and be and do you. You fly your flag.
Yeah, that's right.
Be proud. Whatever it looks like, it's okay.
Yes.
We're meant to bring our own art to the table. So let's do it.
Absolutely. Debbie, thank you for hosting. Thanks, Andy.
Next Monday, we will be on my channel with three more wonderful women that we would read on.
3 new women. Can't wait. Oop, and there's the dog. He's
the dog. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.